All right, welcome back. We are going to talk about 3 word problems. These are just a little bit more challenging, a little bit more spicy. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so it says word problems for each problem, right? Draw a picture, then find the missing side. If necessary, it's telling us that we need to round to the nearest tenth, right? So this is one place after decimal. Oops. Okay, so let's go and break it down. There's 3 of these. Let's get through all them all actually. Okay, so number 1, it says a 16-foot ladder rests against the side of a house. So this is the first one. A 16-foot ladder rests against the side of the house, right? So automatically I'm thinking, okay, I have somewhere a house, right? You could go ahead and draw a house. There's my window. Maybe I'll add some grass, right? You get the gist, okay? So there's my house. It's saying that a 16-foot ladder rests against it. So at an angle, here is my ladder. And this ladder is 16 feet. Okay? And the base of the ladder is 4 feet away from the base of the house. So that means, and this creates our triangle, that this measurement right here, the base of the ladder is 4 feet away from the base of the house. So this is 4 feet. It's asking us to solve approximately how high above the ground is the top of the ladder. So here's the ground, here's the top of the ladder. So here we are going to go and calculate the height, right? So here's my triangle. I like to go ahead and redraw it. If I were to go and redraw it, right, here's my right angle, right? Typically houses are straight up. So there's my right angle. Here's my 16 feet. Here's my 4 feet. And there is my X. Okay. As we are labeling the triangle, right, across from my right angle is C. Let's say that this is side A and side B. Okay, the order of A and B actually does not matter. You just want to make sure that C is always across from your right angle. Now we have enough information where I can go ahead and say A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. And then we go ahead and go through the motions, right? A is X, so I'm going to put X squared plus B is 4, so 4 squared is equal to C is 16. This becomes 6 squared. 16 squared, sorry. And then we solve, right? X squared remains. I have 4 squared, that equals to 16 plus 16 squared, which is 256. Right, from here I'm going to go ahead and solve for X, so I'm going to subtract 16 both sides. 256 minus 16 gives me 240. And then just like we did on the other ones, right, to get rid of this X squared, I have to take the square root of both sides. So this becomes X. And I'm going to plug in the square root of 240 in my calculator. I get 15.491. It's asking us to round to the nearest tenth, so one place after the decimal, right? So I'm going to look at the 4. I have to see if I'm rounding up the 4 or not. Let me go and move some of this up, right? I'm looking at the 4. I'm going to look at the number right next to 4. 9 is higher than 5, so I'm going to round up the 4. We should get 15.5 feet. That's the answer, 15.5 feet. Okay. Right, let's go to example 2. It says find the hypotenuse of a triangle with base of 11 and height of 19. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a right triangle. Sorry, this should be right triangle. Right, with the base. The base is 11, so here's the base of my triangle. Here's my right angle. The base is 11 centimeters. right? The height of my triangle is 9 centimeters, so there's the height. It's asking us to find the hypotenuse, the side that is across from my right angle, so that's my x, right? Let's say the 9 is A, the B is 11. Go ahead and set up the equation and solve for x. So I get a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, and then I just plug and chug. Right? A is 9, that becomes 9 squared, plus b is 11, that becomes 11 squared. C is x, and I don't know what x is, so I'm going to keep it as x squared. From here, I'm going to go ahead and solve. 9 squared is equal to 81, plus 11 squared, that equals 121, is equal to x squared. Right, I can go ahead and combine my like terms. So 81 plus 121, that gives me 202 is equal to x squared. Same exact process, I have to take the square root of both sides. If I do that, the square root of 202, oh gosh, is equal to 14.21. Same thing, I'm rounding to the nearest tenth, so I'm looking at 2. I'm going to look over to the next number, right? 1 is less than 5, so I don't even pay attention to it. X is equal to 14.2 centimeters. And this is your answer. Okay. All right, the third one is just a fun one. It's a baseball one. So the distance from home plate to first base is 90 feet. So it's talking about baseball. Baseball has a baseball diamond. So there's my baseball diamond, right? Let's say, oops. Let's say here's my home base. Oh gosh. Right, let's say that this is first, here is second, and here's third. Okay, the distance from home plate, so here's home, to first base is 90 feet. So here's the 90 feet. Oh my gosh. Here's the 90 feet, right? The distance from first base, home plate to first base is 90 feet, so there's 90 feet. The distance from first base to second base is 90 feet, right? It's asking us what is the distance from home base to second base. So I'm looking for this distance right there. Let's call that X, right? Guys, baseball fields, they are squares. So squares have 4 90-degree angles, okay? Again, I'm going to go and redraw this triangle. So I'm going to go and turn it a little bit. Right here's the first base. Here is half of home. And here's the second. Right, this right here, that's what we're trying to find. This is the X, right? Then this is 90 feet, and this is 90 feet. Right, so across from my right angle is C, and then A and B don't really matter. Okay, so here we go. We have A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. A squared is 90, so it becomes 90 squared, plus B squared is 90 squared as well, is equal to my unknown of C squared. All right, let's go ahead and calculate some stuff. Let's do 90 squared. That is equal to 8,100 plus 90 squared is the same exact thing, is equal to C squared. Right, I'm going to combine my like terms. Right, 8,100 plus 8,100 gives me a value of 16,200 is equal to C squared. Right, again, same process. I need to get 1C, so I'm going to take the square root of both sides. The square root of 16,200 gives me a decimal. It's 127.27. Same exact thing. I'm looking to see if I have to round up or keep it the same, right? So I'm going to look at the 2. That's what I'm trying to see if I'm rounding. I'm going to look at the next number over. 7 is more than 5, so yep, I will be rounding up the 2. I should get C is equal to 127.3 feet. And that's your answer. Okay, so this is Pythagorean theorem. This equation right there, that's Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so for practice, there is a class kick and then also a delta math.